Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Steph, I'm the Secret Slob. Welcome to my channel. Right now I am working my way from the very top of my house to the bottom, cleaning every square inch of it. I'm doing this challenge for two reasons. One, we are in lockdown in my province and country, and so I really need a distraction from that, and two, my house really needs it. I don't think I've ever actually cleaned my entire house in one swoop. I've already finished zone number 1, that was my welcome home zone. Now I'm into zone number 2, and zone number 2 is only one room, and yet it's still the hardest zone of everything, and that is the kitchen. So I call it my food zone, and it's the hardest zone because there's pretty much food splattered everywhere. So I'm gonna work through my whole zone 2 detailed cleaning list. If you would like a copy of this, it's right down in the description. It's totally free. Grab one for yourself and modify it to make it work for your house. I even have to modify it a little bit for me. I tried to make one that was as generic as possible. So I'll be working on my zone number 2 kitchen, and you're gonna see some pretty scary stuff. I guarantee it. All right, less talking, more scrubbing. Let's get started right now. Whenever I tackle a huge project like this, I always like to start with the grossest task, and that would be the dishwasher. I clean my dishwasher every month, regardless of whether it falls on my zones, just because if I don't, it gets even worse than that. And so I just use a really easy vinegar water spray. I'll put all of the recipes for my sprays that I make below. I like to use eco-friendly cleaners so that my kids don't hurt themselves, and also I just think it's better for the environment, and it's way cheaper. So I just spray the whole inside out with vinegar, and I use paper towel because it's really nasty in there, and I just want to be able to throw that grime and dirt away. Once I have the whole inside wiped out, I replace the filters that I've cleaned in the sink, and then I pour about 2 or 3 cups of vinegar in, and I start it empty on the sanitize cycle. That makes it super clean and smell way better. The second thing I'm going to tackle in my kitchen is this oven and stove. It has all kinds of baked on stuff. I dropped a pizza slice down the side of the oven, and it got everything so disgusting, so it needs a really good scrub. One thing I'm gonna do differently this time is actually take the oven door off so I can get down into where I dropped that pizza slice, and also take the oven glass pieces apart to clean thoroughly. To clean my oven racks, I have a super hack. You put them in your bathtub on top of a towel, and then put a bunch of dryer sheets and a little bit of dish soap in. Run the water so it just covers them, and then leave them to soak. If you have time to leave them overnight, do that, but even 2 or 3 hours makes a difference. When it's all done, you wipe them down with the dryer sheets, and they come off spotless. It's kind of an amazing hack. For the inside of my oven, I'm going to use a baking soda paste that I made. Just baking soda and water, and rub it all over the inside, covering everything liberally with this baking soda paste. I have tried this method before and I wasn't totally impressed, but I love using green cleaners, so I'm going to give it another shot, and this time leave it as long as possible. Now that my oven racks are soaking and the inside of the oven is soaking, I'm going to take apart the oven door. Most ovens have 3 panes of glass in the door, and ours just had a few drips. It doesn't take much to clean those inside pieces, but the outside piece can get a little gnarly. I have used the baking soda and vinegar method on my oven door so many times, and it has never worked. So this time I'm going to use oven cleaner. It's not something I love to use, but I really need to get it clean once and for all. Next, I'm gonna pull my oven right out from the wall, and yep, that's what collects underneath your oven. Pretty nasty, hey? And there's definitely some missing toys we've been looking for. I'm gonna just sweep that out and wipe down the floor and get it all nice and clean. It's one of those things, I guess, you know, you'd never notice if you didn't do it, but it just makes me know that I got everything done. So I've left this baking soda mixture to sit on the oven for 3 hours. I watched a movie. I'm back and I'm rinsing it off just with plain water. It's super tedious to get it all off, but it is getting quite a bit of the really gunky stuff and the crusty stuff off. I started to get a little annoyed with having to wipe it all, so I just am spraying straight vinegar on to try and dissolve some of it, make it easier to wipe. Overall, this method does work, but it's not the best. I have tried it 2 or 3 times now, and I think if you want to get your oven completely spotless as if it was new, a heavy-duty oven cleaner might be the only ticket. But this works pretty good. It just leaves a few of those little black spots. All in all, I'm just going to stick with this method because I don't like putting those crazy chemicals in my oven. I'm only using it on the door because the baking soda does not work on the door. So I found that even with wiping, the oven cleaner didn't get my oven door totally clean. That's probably just how baked on it is. So I sprayed it on again, let it sit for another 20 minutes, and then I actually used a razor blade to scrape all of that gunk off the glass. I just really wanted shining glass. I don't care so much if that blue part is perfect, but I want the glass to look nice and clean. Next on the list is my fridge. I'm trying to just do all the big appliances first because that's kind of the exhausting part, and then I can clean the rest of the kitchen. I actually cleaned my fridge about a week and a half ago, so it's super simple. I'm just taking stuff off the shelves, wiping them down really quick, and replacing them. My fridge is really clean already, so it's nice to just do a quick organize, especially after Christmas. To clean my fridge, I use my same vinegar water spray. Sometimes if I need to do a really heavy duty job, I'll take the shelves out. But for the most part, I can just spray the shelves, let it sit for a minute, and then give it a wipe down. That works really well, and then you don't have to worry about any chemicals near your food. It's the same with my freezer. I have a drawer style freezer and I try to clean it out at least once a month just so that I don't lose things in there. And one of my biggest hacks if you have a drawer freezer is use your vacuum to clean out the little bits. If you try using a cloth, you've probably found that the cloth will stick to the side of the freezer because it's very cold. So usually I'll just vacuum out all the bits and then give it a wipe down with a really just mildly damp cloth. Just be careful you don't make the mistake I did and try to put your peas in upside down. I spilled them all over the floor, but my baby didn't mind. He had a little snack. Okay, now that I've got the big 3 done, that's what I call my 3 appliances because they're the hardest and grossest tasks in the kitchen, I can move on to make this kitchen look really shiny and sparkly. I hope you're still with me, and if you're looking to join this challenge, make sure you pick up your detailed cleaning list from the description, hit subscribe, and you can clean along with me through the rest of this challenge. I love getting my cupboard fronts cleaned up because it makes the biggest difference in the overall look of my kitchen. Even though it doesn't seem like they're dirty, giving them a wipe makes the whole kitchen sparkle. I put white cabinets into my kitchen because everyone said they'll be so easy to wipe down. I will say now I do regret it a bit because they show literally every little fingerprint and muddy handprint and piece of dirt. It does, however, really sparkle when I do clean them up, and they are easy to wipe down, so I do like that part of it. I use my same vinegar water spray on the fronts of my cupboards. These are not wood cupboards, however, and if you have wood cupboards, don't use vinegar water spray. You could use like a mild soapy water spray, but I find this vinegar water spray works really good, and I do those kick plates underneath as I'm going, and they are often really dirty, a lot worse than you think they are. When you're cleaning your cupboards, make sure you focus on the areas where you have your doorknobs or your drawer pulls. Since that's where your hands are touching, that's usually where most of the dirt piles up. The other places I often find is where you're doing dishes or where you throw your garbage away. It's often very dirty on those cupboards or drawers. We used to have another set of cupboards in this corner, but we took them out and put in these open shelves. And now we keep our glasses and mugs on there. And you'd think they would get really dusty, but because there's just a minimal amount, we actually do go through them and they don't get dusty. I use a vinegar spray on my stainless steel, including my vent hood, and the other thing I do is come along behind with a tea towel to wipe away any streaks or fingerprints. Makes it look perfect and like there's no wipe marks or anything. I soak my vent filters in hot soapy water and then I come along behind, give them a scrub and a rinse. Another thing you can do is throw them in the dishwasher, but don't do it with food or you'll get food bits all in there. So a good time to do that would be when you sanitize your dishwasher. I had done mine yesterday though, so I'm just gonna do mine in the sink and that works pretty good too. One thing that makes the kitchen harder to clean is the fact that you're cooking in there, so there's a little bit of grease built up on every surface, including windows and all your sills. I use a bit of a soapy spray first, and then I'll follow up with my vinegar spray to get it shiny. This cuts down the grease and makes it a lot easier to clean all of those surfaces. The number one question I get asked about is my tile backsplash. It's a glass subway tile called Alchemia Blue. I can link in the description to what it's called. If you punch it into Google, you'll be able to find it. I love having this bright color in my kitchen. I really feel like it lifts up our home and brings warmth to our kitchen. Okay, let's see how far I've got. It feels like I've been working forever, but there's still a few things left to do, including under the sink, my garbage, microwave, and of course, vacuum and mop the floors. My under the sink wasn't too bad at all actually, because we don't keep much under there, but the garbage drawer is nasty. I have little kids and they often miss the bag, and so I have to wipe down this all the time. If you have a microwave in your house, this is the only way to clean it. Put a cup of half vinegar, half water in there for about 2 or 3 minutes. Let it get warm, pull it out, careful it's hot, and wipe the inside out. It comes perfectly clean with just water. It's super simple and fast. Okay, last thing in my kitchen, I'm just gonna vacuum the floors and then give them a mop. I go around with my spray bottle of soapy water and spray all the sticky spots, and then I come along behind and wipe it all down. I will usually use a mop, but because I'm doing a super deep clean, trying to get into all those nooks and crannies and get all that stuff scrubbed off, I'm getting down on my hands and knees and doing it the old-fashioned way. This is our walk-in pantry. We use it kind of as an all-purpose storage space. We have food in here, we keep our cleaning supplies in here, and then kind of a storage closet. I'm just gonna pull everything off the shelves, wipe them down, and then give the counters a wipe. We also have a deep freezer, so I'll clean that. And then just vacuum and mop the floors, and I think I am all done for this area. I did get quite a few questions about my vacuum in the last video. It's a Dyson cordless V11. I just bought it. I actually bought it on eBay and got a super deal. So I'll link to the model that I have down below. I love it. I have to vacuum so much with 3 kids, so it's definitely well worth it for me, but it is a bit pricey. So do your research and decide if it's going to be best for you. I'm finishing off my checklist, feeling pretty proud that I got through zone 2. You can see I didn't do the cupboards section. I'm going to do a big decluttering project here in about a week, and so I'm leaving that for then. So I modify this list to make it work for me. I hope you do the same. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and follow along with me as I get the rest of my house cleaned up before New Year's.